So thanks again, everybody, for being here. I'm Pringle Miller, and I'm one of the founders, along with Buddy and Red, of the Surgical Palliative Care Society. And I was walking over here with Jo Helen, and she was reminding me that we are missing the Olga Jonasson lecture right now, the named lecture. But I want to give credit to her specifically about us, because it was through her advocacy that the American Board of Surgery started to sponsor the certification for hospice and palliative medicine. So if you didn't know that, thank you, Dr. Jonasson, for that. I also want to just give credit and respect to some of our founding fathers and mothers of the palliative care movement within the surgical field. So starting with Balfour Mount, who was a urologic surgeon and is considered the founding father of North American palliative care, who couldn't be with us today, but we have his memoir here. So some people are going to leave with his book, which is pretty exciting.
Autographed by him, no less. Yes.
And in addition to that, Jeffrey Dunn, who has personally been a tremendous mentor for me and a sponsor of me sort of being elevated into the space of being able to integrate surgery and palliative care. So I want to thank him personally, but also we have to bring him into this space because he's inspired a lot of us, and Bob Milch as well. So I'm going to pass the mic.
Thank you. Yeah. I'll take first, buddy. So I was texting with Dr. Dunn this morning, who's also been a dear friend and mentor to me. And I was reflecting that it was 25 years ago at the Clinical Congress when Dr. Dunn first began talking about palliative care to surgeons during a symposium on the ethics around end-of-life care. And so I was saying that my heart was sad because I was wishing that both he and his dear friend, Dr. Bob Milch, who passed away about 1.5 years ago, were with us. But I said, I'm hoping that Bob is watching from above and is proud of us. And I said that we would send Dr. Dunn pictures. I also wanted to recognize Dr. Jack Zimmerman, who I hope is watching virtually right now. So if you are, hi, Dr. Jack, who really was probably one of the first to write about palliative, to mention the word palliative in the Annals of Surgery back in an article he wrote in 1969. And then I just also wanted to invoke the spirit of Andy Baxter, who died earlier this year, who was instrumental in supporting the Surgical Palliative Care Residence Guide that I think many of us really, for a long time, it was the only tool that we had to learn about surgical palliative care. So I love the idea of all of our ancestors with us today. And then I also just want to mention Dr. Ann Mosenthal, who's been so influential in my life in doing trauma and palliative medicine. And I want to thank Buddy and Pringle for dealing with me the last 3 years. And Margie and Jill, we wouldn't be here without you. I cannot thank you enough for guiding us through the process of birthing this baby that I hope, in the next 25 years will grow into a fully formed, functional human being. And just thank you so much for your patience and your generosity, really. And thanks everyone for being here today.
I don't have too much to say. Can you see my smile? We kind of schemed this 3 years ago at the ACS Clinical Congress in San Francisco at 2019. And despite all the personal and social and viral things that happened in the last 3 years, I'm just super happy that everybody's here. I did do the math with our membership, and we are 0.14% the size of the American College of Surgeons. So we have a little room to grow. I will also say we made, of course, it's just like a complex operation. We made a gazillion decisions. And I really do believe the best decision we ever made was getting Margie and Jill to help us run this ship. No question about that.
All right, well, has any, you want to just get started?
a couple more minutes.
What's that?
No, I wanted to say a couple more
Oh,
things.
please,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
So I sort of did the introduction just to bring the ancestors, as Red said, into the room. But I also just want to say that part of, why we're all here is the future of surgery. And so I just want to say to all of you that this is very much a work in progress, as you well know, as a young organization. So I would implore all of you to have your voices heard and be part of the organization and to continue to spread the word about the organization, because we will be as successful as all of us make it. It cannot just fall on the shoulders of just a few people. And as we learn more and more about diversity and the value of diversity, we really need to hear from everybody. So I hope that you'll get more involved with the organization if you weren't already, and more involved as you go through your different posts within the organization to stay involved.
Yeah,